Joe in Albuquerque wants to talk about suicide. Welcome to the Savage Nation, Joe.
Hi, Michael. I think you should just keep talking about it, and I want to tell you why. I've been contemplating suicide myself for the past couple of months, especially this past week. And not that I really cared about Robin Williams or any of that, but when he committed suicide, I said, well, if a guy like that could, why not me? And
now, hold on. This is very important. The amount of attention he is getting posthumously is going to trigger a lot of copycat acts around the country from people who are desperate and lonely and want attention. Am I right about that?
Absolutely.
And that's what worries me. What worries me is the vermin inside these satellite trucks who will not leave the neighborhood. Anybody who walks by, they try to interview. If an ant goes by, they put a microphone in front of the ant's feelers to see if they can get something on the air. So what's preventing you from hurting yourself? I hope something.
Well, your show yesterday, I'm not going to say prevented me, but it did make me think about my kids and my wife.
Oh, boy. You mean before I talked about it, you really didn't even think about what it would be like for them?
I'm telling you right now, I didn't care. My problems are so overwhelming that it didn't matter.
Okay. So now this is important for me. You're saying that your life is so black that you can't see outside the darkness, and you don't see anything but darkness.
Correct.
Can you isolate for me what your single biggest problem is? Is it financial?
It is financial.
Okay, well, believe me, that's not to be dismissed. In other words, people say, oh, it's only money. Well, try living without it.
You know, and I saw a guy like Robin Williams who probably had a lot of money, and I said, well, if that guy, he had reasons, and I mean, my reasons they're not valid because suicide's not a choice, but your show made me think, and I think that more people need to think, and I agree with you that copycats will be out there. We'll hear about them maybe or maybe not. But it is a dark world when you walk around every day wanting to take your life, and you just got to pick yourself up every day and keep going no matter what, right?
Look, listen to me. Here's the thing to remember. I mean, I'm not a religious person in any way, but the thing for you to remember is this. Just think of your children, because I heard you say that in the midst of the darkness, that's what you thought of. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. How old are they?
16 and 27.
Now imagine what their lives would be going forward if their father was found dead with a gunshot to his head.
My son would be devastated.
I want you to imagine what they would see on the floor as the coroner comes with a body bag. Can you envision that?
When you said that yesterday, I envisioned that, and then I thought about it. I'm like, my God, it's an ugly scene, and it is a
very much. That's right, and that's what people don't think about. They don't think about what's left behind. And it doesn't really end your pain for one reason. You want to hear the reason? Sure. Because you inflicted pain on the next generation and generations after that, because they all say, oh, we had a grandfather who shot himself. Everyone remembers it. It's in the family forever, for 2-3 generations or more, Joe.
Michael, I just want to thank you.
Forget me. I want to go on with you for another minute. Joe, listen to me. It's very important. I didn't help you in any way. We're seeing only the ugliness and inside the ugliness, right? But now let's start looking at the light. There is light outside of that darkness, and I want you to listen to me carefully. Sure, money problems are devastating, and you've probably tried everything, and you can't seem to break out of this box you're in, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what is the most pressing financial crisis that's upon you? Are you about to lose your house?
My wife worked somewhere for 14 years, lost her job. We had just started a business, so immediately everything is 911, and then her unemployment got canceled last week after 6 months. So, everything is just, we're behind on everything. And after a while, a man feels like he failed, and...
Well, hold it. Stop with the man failed. Society failed you. You didn't fail society. No. You see, this is the problem. Yes, your pride is at stake. And that's very important that you said that, Joe, because you're not going to hurt yourself. I know it right now. You just said a man feels as though he's failed. In other words, you're still a man, aren't you?
Of course.
Okay, so you haven't been so deracinated as a human being that you have nothing left. You have a whole soul left.
True.
In other words, your being is still intact. That hasn't been taken from you, has it?
I have my faith in God, yes.
Well, okay, so the wise person would say, let's pursue that at another time. I can't do it with you on the air. But we have to deal with your financial needs right now. And I never did this, Joe, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Are you willing to accept any donations from my listeners?
Well, sure, of course.
I'm not going to do it for anyone else today, Joe. I don't want this to become the show. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Joe, I'm going to put you on hold. You're going to give an email address. And then we're not going. I don't know how to do it yet. We'll figure it out, okay, Joe? So hang in there. We'll see what we can do for you. Stay on the line. Give my guys your email address. So listen, folks. Here's what we're going to do for old Joe. We're going to get him through the next month. How we're going to get Joe through the next month? I believe on michaelsavage.com. I don't raise money for anything anymore. I've decided to just take care of myself. My legal fund is still there, but I don't raise money. Have you noticed? I don't give lectures. I don't raise money. I give money away if I can. I think that on the top of my website, there's a link somewhere to the Savage Legal Fund. I don't know where it is. I never talk about it anymore. There it is. Go to the bottom of michaelsavage.com. It says Legal Defense Fund. You see it? Bottom right, michaelsavage.com. Sorry, your last action could not be completed. Great. Anyway, there's a legal defense fund on my website that I hope to God is still operational. I pray to God it is. You can make a donation through my defense fund and say for Joe. I can guarantee you I won't take 10 cents from any donation. No handling charges, nothing. Not 3 cents, not $1, nothing. And I'm going to forward him some money from my fund in advance anyway. I'll send him whatever I think is needed to get this guy through the month because I have a feeling that if we can get him through a month, he'll be fine. It's the Savage Nation. And I want to understand what just happened with that phone call. You helped save a man's life and a family's tragedy. By listening to the show, you have given me, let's say, this show. By listening to the show in such great numbers over the years, I was rewarded by Cumulus with the biggest stations in the country at the best time of the day. So there must be a reason for this. It must be fate. And maybe the whole fate was to save one man. I don't know. Maybe Joe is somebody. I don't know Joe. But maybe Joe has something waiting to – maybe the world is waiting for something that Joe will give us months or years from now. I don't know what Joe does for a living. I didn't ask him. We have no idea. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? There's a saying in my religion that goes like this. He who saves a single life, it is as though he has saved the entire world. Now,